Alright, so as far as the Brazilian Boom Boom Cream lineup here in this holiday gift set, I'll just go through everything. First of all, at the end of this video, I will talk about why I don't recommend fragrance in skincare products and why it's largely a problem, but all of these products are essentially perfume. You know, they have a hand cream here, which is shea butter based, and that would be fine if they just had a shea butter based moisturizing hand cream. Fantastic. But the addition of these fragrancy compounds in here that make it perfume and then perfume in general, really bad. If you have dry, cracked, fissured hands, I would not go for this. Because when you have dry, cracked, fissured hands, as in the winter time, your skin barrier is really impaired, and all of these fragrance type compounds are very irritating and can set you up for a really bad rash. So I don't recommend that. It's not occlusive enough of a hand cream. Not to mention, when you use scented hand creams like this, you inadvertently end up touching your face. Everybody does, and the thin skin around your eyelids can develop persistent rashes, dark under eye circles from using fragrancy perfumed hand creams. And the same sort of holds true for their Boom Boom Cream. It is a nice thick moisturizer. This will be very good to seal in transepidermal water loss, but for people with eczema in particular, it is going to set you up for a fragrance allergy. However, if you are okay with fragrance and you like the way this smells, it is a nice body cream. I will give you that. The Brazilian Moisturizing Shower Gel Cream. I have to say, I don't know how I feel about that name, but anyways, this actually is not too bad, aside from the fragrance, and some people are irritated by coconut oil, but this is actually, I've tried this before, and it's not super drying. It has sodium lauryl sulfate in it, which is a detergent. I covered it in my cleanser ingredient video. It is not as harsh on the skin barrier as sodium lauryl sulfate, and it also has cocamidopropyl betaine in it, which is a surfactant in a lot of conditioners and body washes that many people can also become allergic to. So if you have a problem with this, the suspect ingredients are A, fragrance, or B, cocamidopropyl betaine, or just the fact that, you know, it's stripping the skin barrier. And then Brazilian Crush. This does have a nice scent of perfume, of coconutty perfume. The fragrance ingredients in this specifically are limonene and the coumarin, and then of course they say fragrance there. Alright, I just swatched the Laneige lip sleeping mask. I do not recommend this, and here's why. It has a lot of fragrance in it, and it tastes so good. So it's problematic because people trying to rehydrate and plump up their lips, the last thing you want to do is A, have irritating fragrance on your lips. The lips are particularly sensitive to what's called an irritant cheilitis. And so the presence of the fragrance in this is really problematic. And I'm not impressed with the occlusivity of this. It's nice and emollient. I mean, look at that shine. I suppose as an occlusive, it's okay. But the real problem, and I'm tempted to lick my hand right now, is that this has strawberry in it. Who doesn't like the taste of strawberry? You are inadvertently going to be licking this off of your lips. Even if you don't think you are in your sleep, I guarantee you're going to end up licking this off your lips. And that can lead to something called lip licker's dermatitis, or basically saliva on the lips evaporates very quickly and pulls water out of the lips and exacerbates dryness, irritation, and peeling. So you're going to like this. You're going to inadvertently lick it off. It's going to taste good. You're going to see that when you put it on, you're going to see that shine. You're going to think, oh, my lips look so good, right? And then they're going to get dry because A, you lick it off, and B, it's a little irritating, and to be frank, it's not that great of an occlusive, so it doesn't hold water into the lips that well. And then you're going to just keep putting more on. But To me, it feels just like the cherry chapstick brand cherry chapstick. It looks and smells an awful lot like that, but I believe is a lot pricier. I have tried their water sleeping mask, and I don't recommend that. That is nothing but perfume. I mean, it even kind of touts itself as basically being perfume. It's like, whiff this before you go to sleep. It is not a great humectant. I reviewed it a long time ago in my K-beauty, in like a K-beauty video. That's a little rundown on the lip mask. Long story short, I don't recommend it, but it does smell nice. Alright, so BOSCIA has some fairly decent products. Their Makeup Breakup Cool Cleansing Oil is not horrible, aside from the price, and some of the oils they put in here, if you have sensitive skin or rosacea, you might find irritating. They're kind of fragrancy, like rose oil. But this is wonderful if you've got water-resistant sunscreen and mascara to break that up, and then you wash it off with a cleanser. Their Purifying Cleansing Gel is really nice. It has EGCG or green tea, which is an antioxidant, albeit limited in its stability in topical forms. Theoretically could scavenge free radicals. In leave-on lotion forms has been shown to be helpful for diminishing the appearance of pores, but the effective concentration is controversial. It appears 5% of green tea, EGCG from green tea is thought to be most effective, but you know, you're kind of at the mercy of the formulator here as far as how much is in there. They're obviously not disclosing that. It could just be nothing more than a basic gel cleanser at 28 bucks. You can get the Aveeno Gel Cleanser over the counter for far less than that. Gel to mousse cleanser that is similarly formulated if you like mousse forms. I don't recommend the facial tonic, however. This is nothing more than flower water spray. Spraying a tonic like this on your face, it just pulls more water out of your skin and leads to dryness. So I don't recommend that. I don't recommend BOSCIA's Clear Complexion Moisturizer. This would be great if it were just a green tea moisturizer, but they put... Look at this laundry list here. Whenever you see an ingredient list this long in a skincare product, it's just increasing the odds of problems. Orange oil, clove oil, lavender oil, those are not good. Lemon oil, not great. A far better green tea leave-on moisturizer is the Sunjung 2X Barrier Cream by Etude House. I will list it down below. Then I also, as far as their clear complexion treatment, again, fragrance, the orange peel, lavender oil, ooh, bad news bears. Jojoba oil is good. Good moisturizer, good for restoring the skin barrier. Willow bark extract, I'm guessing they have some weak percentage strength of salicylic acid in this, at most. So it's not going to be drying at that wimpy of a concentration likely, but a far better leave-on green tea treatment, spot treatment, is the Your Good Skin Rapid Clear, or I think it's called Rapid Clear. I'll list it down below. I named it in one of my in my video, top best acne spot treatments. I recommend that over this, and it's much more affordable, and I believe it's also cruelty free as well, and available to those of you in the UK in Boots. This thing though is $36 of a potential bomb. Albeit this is not my favorite humectant, I do recommend it. It is the Clinique Moisture Surge 72-Hour Auto Replenishing Hydrator. This, speaking of green tea, has green tea in it, is fragrance-free, and is nice underneath your moisturizer to kind of give you a little bit of extra hydration. It's good. I recommend it. Alright, Ole Henriksen's A Brighter Truth. Let's get brighter here, and I'll tell you the truth. Skip these three. Alright, here's why you should skip this. First up, this is nothing more than a fragrance-containing gel cleanser, a fragrance-containing watered-down moisturizer, and a fragrance-containing cream moisturizer. This is not going to impart substantial brightening, and for sure can lead to irritation and redness. There is nothing that I would name an effective brightener in any of these products. They're going after citrus, grapefruit seed extracts, and citrus extracts. Maybe the green tea and the Truth Serum could be offer a little bit of brightening, but largely this is going to be irritating. If I were going to make a Truth Serum, I would just put water, glycerin, and kojic acid and niacinamide in it. Those are botanic brighteners that work. Niacinamide inhibits the transfer of melanosomes, and kojic acid can inhibit tyrosinase, the enzyme that drives hyperpigmentation, and you will get a brightening effect from those bad boys. And you don't need a laundry list like this. If you want a good brightening quote serum moisturizer, go with the PCA skin brightening gel, PCA pigment gel. They have a hydroquinone-free pigment gel that has ingredients in it that will brighten. And don't waste your money on this lie, a brighter lie, Ole Henriksen. All right, so here we go with the Sunday Riley review. Of all of these things, I actually don't hate the Good Genes product. It is a lactic acid treatment that you apply to the face. Lactic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid that is pretty large in size and largely functions as a moisturizer in most leave-on products, to be frank. Its efficacy as an exfoliant is tied to the pH of the product and the percent of the acid and the pH, which helps you to determine the amount of free acid in the product. And honestly, in a product like this, it's going to be very low. Not to mention lactic acid. Another reason in addition to its size that makes it hard to get into the skin and to exfoliate is the fact that it has a hard time getting through the oily stuff on the surface of our skin. So the fact that they've put this in oils, I'm like, how is that even going to be effective as an exfoliant? Answer is it's unlikely to. It's largely going to soften the top layer of the skin a little bit, which gets dry because it ends up having low water content from all of the cleansing and aggressive stuff that we do to our face. But that aside, I don't have a problem with the Good Genes per se. It's got aloe in it, which can be irritating to some, but has something called aleosins in it, which can inhibit some of the transfer of melanosomes around and lead to a brightening effect. It also has yeast extract in it. These fermented yeast extracts are rich in beta-glucans that likewise bind onto water. It's got cyclomethicone and dimethicone, which are great moisturizing ingredients. It has squalene in it, which also, it appears to be a very reliable moisturizing thing. I don't have a problem with this. It also has licorice root extract in it. Licorice root has glaberidins in it, which can help to inhibit tyrosinase and lead to a brightening effect. I can see why people like this product. I can see why it's helpful. I can't predict how irritating lemongrass oil is, though. That would be one thing I would definitely leave out of this, but overall, I don't really have a huge problem with the Good Genes thing. But we need to send Luna back to the moon and forget about her. Luna is nothing but a perfume oil. Ylang ylang, Albertilio. I mean, that sounds like a recipe for a disaster. The good thing in the Luna is probably the avocado oil, if anything. But the rest of these are just perfume in oil form, and oils are emollients. They're not really moisturizers per se, unless they're in a moisturizing cream that's got a corresponding occlusive in it. They'll transiently make your skin look soft, glowy, and hydrated, but it's an illusion. It's just smoothing down the uneven surfaces of the top layer of the skin, and it's not really sealing in water. So without a corresponding occlusive on top, you're gonna have transepidermal water loss and dryness. Blue tansy oil, that's a flower oil. I mean, this is nothing but perfume. So skip Luna, send her to the moon. The Tidal Brightening Enzyme Water Cream has some potential to, I bet it does increase hydration. I wouldn't be surprised. They say it increases it by 68% in 15 minutes. I bet it does, but it can also be very irritating with this holy basil and all these other things. I mean, you can increase the skin hydration by applying a basic fragrance-free moisturizer in it. But here is the strong player in this as far as brightening. It's alpha-arbutin. Alpha-arbutin has a long-standing, well-established history as a brightener. That is a very, very logical ingredient for a brightening cream. I just wish there were not so many other ingredients in here that have no role. It can be irritating. Be careful with this. I wouldn't go putting it around the eyes from the get-go. It's got a lot going on in it, but the title is not as bad. I can't recommend the CEO serum either. Vitamin C is water soluble, not very stable. I've talked about the limitations of topical vitamin C. Many people disagree with me, but in dermatology, all the papers you can read say that the efficacy of topical vitamin C is limited by its stability in topical forms, and getting the ideal formulation has not been nailed down. But cosmetic companies will lead you to believe that it has. Not to mention, this also has glycolic acid in it, which is another alpha hydroxy acid that is very pH dependent as far as the amount of free acid in the product and its efficacy as an exfoliant. I would not combine glycolic acid with sweet orange oil. That is an irritant soup right there. Glycolic acid is the smallest of the alpha hydroxy acids and can penetrate the deepest. This has the potential to be softening, but that orange oil in there, that's the main ingredient in this that gives me pause. The ceramic slip, I would say skip. I mean, I guess that coming in this kit, you feel like you're getting something extra, but honestly, it's just a fragrancy face wash. It's not gonna like extra clean your face. And it does have fragrance in it, and it has kaolin in it, which is pretty drying. And but otherwise, I mean, it's not terrible. I just don't think it's worth the price for a fragrancy cleanser. You're basically gonna wash down the sink. Yeah, so from Sunday Riley's lineup, I say the Good Genes is pretty decent, maybe worth it. Skip Luna and proceed with caution with Tidal. That will brighten though. It's got some logical brighteners with the alpha-arbutin and the aloe. But yeah, papain, cucumber, eggplant, proceed with caution. Holy basil. Is this a nativity scene? Anyways, yeah, Sunday Riley. Alright, while I don't recommend Clarisonic because it is drying, irritating, disrupts the skin barrier, and can be problematic, their Pore and Blemish Gel Cleanser is, I can't say anything bad about it. It's a fragrance-free 2% salicylic acid face wash. It's $29, so, you could get Zapsit, which is identical for a fraction of the price, but as a product, it is not bad. It will be helpful for controlling breakouts and oily shininess. Alright, skip the Clarisonic, but I don't have anything bad to say about these KIEHLS products. The Ultra Facial Cleanser is a nice fragrance-free face wash. Their Ultra Facial Moisturizer is pretty good as well. The only problem is it has olive oil in it, which can actually increase transepidermal water loss as a moisturizer. But it also has avocado oil in it, and it's sufficiently formulated. It's got some nice occlusive property to it, and is otherwise fragrance-free. And the Rare Earth Deep Pore Mask has aloe in it, which can be irritating, but has some brightening properties to it, as well as colloidal oatmeal, which is rich in beta-glucans and is nice and moisturizing. These products are good. This is terrible, however. Alright, so this Fresh Soy Face Cleanser is not horrible. Its limitation is it has rose flower oil in it, which is perfumey. If you have fragrance allergy, you're going to have to skip. Fragrance in wash-off forms is not as bad, but can still be problematic for people who have true fragrance allergy. I mean, it is problematic for people who have true fragrance allergy, but for those of you who don't mind it, it's not as offensive in wash-off forms. Okay, this has soy protein in it, which is a well-established brightener and is rich in antioxidants. It also has aloe in it, which again can be brightening. So this can brighten your face a little bit, and it's pretty gentle and has some nice moisturizing plant oils in it that are not irritating, not too fragrancy, like the soybean oil and the sunflower seed oil and the borage oil. Borage oil is rich in gamma-linolenic acid, which is a precursor to linolenic acid, one of the essential fatty acids, just plant derived that we cannot make ourselves. And there's a lot of interest in consuming it for inflammatory diseases like eczema, but the evidence for that is kind of limited. However, it makes sense to put it in a face wash as a nice moisturizer. Very well tolerated. This is not a bad product. I don't recommend their black tea essence, however. That is nothing more than perfume. Stay away from that kombucha essence. I'd go over there right now, but they're blasting the music ungodly loud and it's hard to hear. Alright, here's another product that I actually really like. I just don't like the name of it. I reviewed the majority of Supergoop a while back, but I haven't reviewed the serum. It's called. It's a chemical sunscreen. I mean, this is why I hate the term serum. It's so ambiguous. Like, is it a cream? Is it a lotion? Is it just an oil? What is it? And this is basically a lightweight lotion. So this is just a sunscreen, a chemical sunscreen. It's fragrance free. This is a really nice vehicle though. Look how lightweight it is. It's got avobenzone as its UVA blocker and homosalate, octisalate, octocrylene as its UVB block absorbers. This is a good one. I have nothing really bad to say about it other than I hate that term serum. To me, serum is so ambiguous. But yeah, this is pretty good. Well, I managed to not get kicked out of Sephora, which is a challenge. And I detest that they blast the music so loud in there, so I apologize. Hopefully you were able to either hear me and or I won't get copyright restricted. We'll see what footage I have. But for those of you who are new, and many of you who watch my videos, you frequently will note that I encourage everyone to avoid fragrance. And here's why. You may say, like, I don't have any issue with fragrance. I've been using fragrance for years. It doesn't cause any problem. Fragrance allergy to skincare products can and does develop, and can develop at any time. So you may have used fragrance your entire life, and then boom, one day you develop a sensitivity to it, and you have what's called a delayed type hypersensitivity, namely allergic contact dermatitis. Can really be problematic. What percentage of those of you out there will go on to develop that? Hard to say, but it's actually pretty common, and one of the most common offenses in skincare products that ends up presenting clinically in the office. So that's why I encourage you to avoid it. It can and does eventually lead to problems. Any ingredient you can develop an allergy to, that being said. However, there is no role for fragrance in skincare as far as effective, okay? So other ingredients that you can become allergic to are things like preservatives. Well, they keep the product from becoming contaminated. Sometimes you can become allergic to active ingredients. Well, they're doing something for your skin, so there's an argument for putting them in there. But fragrance is put into products to sell you the product, nothing more. You know, consumers feel, you know, sort of a sense of luxury when there is fragrance there, but it's not doing anything helpful and only has the potential to be harmful. So that is one reason to avoid it. Aside from the allergic contact dermatitis, many fragrances, both natural and synthetic, natural makes no difference. In fact, natural is often even worse. You know, your body doesn't want plants smeared all over you for the most part. You know, poison ivy, all natural, common cause of allergy. But fragrances, both natural and synthetic, they also frequently act as vasodilators, and they can cause flushing, redness, and lead to swelling in the skin, irritation, and that can really set you up for problems down the road. And the other reason that I have beef with fragrance is, okay, fine, you're out there putting fragrance on your face, you have no problem with it, you never develop a problem with it as long as you live, you love it, you love the way it smells, you love buying fragrance, fine. That, you know, that's fine. But from the perspective of the manufacturer, of the brand, it makes no sense for them to put it in there because they alienate a demographic. A proportion of people who use the product will develop a problem to it. A proportion of people can't use the product because they already have a pre-existing problem to it. And there are many people out there who have a fragrance allergy and don't know they have it because they can't get in to see a dermatologist, so they're going to use those products with those useless ingredients in them. They're going to develop a problem. They're going to say, why am I breaking out? Well, they've got an allergic contact or an irritant contact dermatitis to these useless ingredients that you're putting in, and they're not going to be able to get in to see a dermatologist. Unfortunately, that is often the case. What are they going to do? They're going to get upset, rightfully so. They got a bad rash, and they're going to go on your website and complain about your product. So, you know, from a bottom line money-making standpoint, this isn't helping anybody by putting fragrance in it. It's really not. That's why I harp on it. You know, you can develop problems to anything. But when people ask me about all of these different serums and jazzy things, and I see fragrance in there and nothing that stands out as solid evidence base for helping in the rest of the product, I'm like, why are you blowing $150 on this bottle of perfume? Is essentially definitely what it is. Perfume, essential oils, lavender, these are all things that can and do frequently cause problems in the skin. So that is why I always talk about and harp on fragrance, because to me it, you know, in my experience, it largely leads to problems. And even if it doesn't cause problems in you, you know, your neighbor friend can develop a problem to it. So from the brand's perspective, they are losing money. They're alienating customers. And, you know, customers who may not understand why they have that problem to it. But yeah, hopefully in this video you were able to hear me. Again, you know, I can't do anything about their music choices. You know, and also there are some decent products in there, albeit expensive, that, you know, hopefully, you know, if you've got a Sephora gift card and you want to know what you should buy, hopefully this video was helpful to you. So if you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.